All right, we're here today with Coach Grossner. Coach, you're now into week 4 of the season. Team is the only team in the Heart 3-0. You also made a huge jump, 9 spots to number 6 in the country. Talk about this 3-0 start and what it means to your team to jump into that number 6 spot.
Yeah, we analyzing this season, we knew these first 3 weeks were big, important to us, but we also knew, after 3 weeks we could get a great evaluation, see where we're at, and know we could still climb back into it if we suffered a setback. We knew there was a gauntlet ahead with Grandview and then Culver, who had beat us last year, and we had to go both those on the road to start with a new team, basically. And then our 3rd week here, we end up with William Penn, who had beaten Mid-America and Missouri Valley the previous weeks, and it was end up being the NAI game of the week. So what a 3 weeks for us. I couldn't be more proud of a football team and a coaching staff. We've done a great job of preparation. Our kids have gone on from the practice field to the game field and performed well. All areas, offense, defense, special teams. After 3 weeks, we were very pleased, but it's a long season. We've got week 4 now. We kind of, after that 3-week gauntlet, we've kind of decompressed and realized, hey, here comes Graceland University, 2-1. They beat Mid-America, a top 10 team last week in overtime. There's no rest and there's no gimmies. And from a standpoint of, are they going to be ready to play and beat us? Yeah, we are a target for them as far as a chance to knock off a Southern Division team. We have gone and beat 3 Northern teams, and I'm sure they're ready to come down and get us.
Yeah, let's talk about this Graceland team. Knocked off Mid-America last week in overtime. What are some things that they've done well in their 2 victories this season?
Well, last year, they won some games with their quarterback, was a very good player, and then he got hurt. And I think it really hurt them as a team. And he's playing at a high level, Miles King. He's a good football player. He likes to throw the ball deep. He's very durable. He's tough to get down. He can move around in the pocket and make some plays. So I like what he brings to the table. They're running backs. I think their tailbacks leading the league in rushing. He's a good player. And that says something about their offensive line. They're pretty good up front. I think they returned 4 out of 5 guys up front. And so those guys have played a lot of snaps together. So offensively, they're in a pretty good groove and scoring some points. And then defensively, I think that's where you see where they can be pretty dangerous. Up front, they've got 3 guys that can get after you in the pass rush. I'm real impressed with their 2 DNs, and then their freshman nose guard is going to be a really good player. He's a good player right now, but he's going to be a special kid down the road. Linebackers, they run pretty well. Secondary, they've got 2 corners back, and then 2 new safeties, but overall they're playing well as a defense too.
How about offensively? You guys have put up a lot of points the last few weeks. What do you hope to see out of your offense this week against Graceland?
Well, just continue to improve, stay efficient, keep Nick upright so he can find his receivers. Running game wise, up front we need to establish the run. We've done a good job running the football. We've just done a real good job throwing the football, so it's offsetting it a little bit. But I think when we've had to run the ball, we've gotten the yards we needed. We've play actioned off that. Our screen game's working well because our run game is there. But I'd like to see our offensive line become more physical as a group, and I think we've worked on that, and we're conscious of that. Coach Regalato's doing a great job with them, getting them to grow together. And then, we just got to protect the football. We've done a nice job of scoring touchdowns and not turning the ball over, and we need to continue that.
How about defensively? You guys have averaged just 9.3 points per game. You shut out Culver in week 2. What do you hope your defense does this week?
Yeah, we've seen every style of offense, too. I think Grandview presented that vertical pass game with a running quarterback. And I thought we did a fantastic job there. And then at Culver, we just shut down everything. And then here comes the triple option with a team that runs it very well with a great quarterback, senior, very heady player that had a lot of experience and a good offensive line that's very physical and comes off the ball well. And our defense matched up well in all those contests. And I think last week you saw how special our group can be. Defensive line, they played well up front. Our backers are as good as advertised. Akeem Francis, Tucker Pauley, and Karan Brown are playing at a very high level. Sam Westcott's given us some great snaps in there as well. And then, the secondary has played lights out. I think we got 12 interceptions at this point, so I'm done talking about them as a mystery. I think, we've found the right guys there, and they've played well as a group together. We just, from a standpoint, we've prepared well, and then we've carried it over to the game. And that's a sign of a good team, and hopefully we can continue that this weekend.
Well, thank you, Coach. Good luck Saturday at 6 o'clock at Liston Stadium.
Thank you.